So like we said, this was a massive week in the world of movie trailers.
No
YouTube
kidding.
blew up with movie trailers, none of which were from DC or Marvel.
Movie and TV series.
And TV series.
Yeah.
8 trailers we're going to unpack for you real quick, so strap in. We're going to be talking about Detective Pikachu, got our second trailer, our first look at Tolkien, Long Shot with Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen, Love, Death, and Robots, Yesterday, Aladdin, Frozen 2, and The Curse of La Llorona.
Notice he said top trailers. That doesn't mean they were the best trailers. It just means they broke the
You're
internet.
talking about Aladdin, aren't you?
I'm definitely talking about
We'll
Aladdin.
get to Aladdin about halfway through our little breakdown. First one, really quickly, guys, off the top, Detective Pikachu. We got our second trailer. Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu.
I can't wait for this movie. I wasn't a huge Pikachu or Pokemon fan, but I know them, and holy cow, this trailer looks so adorable.
It is. It's kind of a recut of the trailer that we've already seen, but they do show you a few extra Pokemon in there.
Mm-hmm.
These almost live-action looking Pokemon. You get a little bit more of sort of the personality of Pikachu.
Yep.
Not a lot of his human counterpart in this. It's really a Pikachu and Pokemon centered trailer.
I love it. I can't wait.
It's great. I'm so excited for Detective Pikachu, and I never thought I'd say that in my life. The other trailer dropped, this is a real teaser trailer, J.R.R. Tolkien, the creator of the Lord of the Rings universe, The Hobbit. They are doing a biopic about him. It's a really interesting story.
It is.
He actually, it's him as a young guy in college with his fellowship of friends, and sort of him going off to World War I.
That's crazy.
If you don't know anything about his sort of backstory, he came up with this idea of the Hobbit universe while at war.
See,
like in the foxholes of France in World War I. He came up with this idea of a fellowship of people fighting evil monsters and going out on a journey. Really, really interesting.
It's very
Short trailer. It
interesting.
was just like a minute long, but
I had no idea that's how he came up with the story.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
it's going to be a very, very interesting movie. Not the greatest trailer, but I mean, it
it's
kind
a
of gave you a
teaser.
sense of what it's going to feel like.
Sure.
A trailer I didn't even know existed. It's movie's called Long Shot.
Yeah.
Stars Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen. Charlize Theron is the Secretary of State. She has been hand-selected to be the nominee for the President of the United States. She meets up with Seth Rogen at a party. Apparently, he works.
Babysit him.
Yeah, Seth Rogen works as a newspaper writer. He's a columnist for a newspaper. She's the Secretary of State. Apparently, she used to babysit him. So they run into each other in a chance encounter at a party. She hires him to be her speechwriter.
Yep.
Because he's a really good writer. And it's the really cutest trailer, man.
Yeah, it was great. It obviously is like a romantic comedy,
It is.
but it's got some, it's written by the knocked up people,
Is
I
it?
think. And yeah,
It has that vibe.
Yeah, it looks great.
But the chemistry between Charlize and Seth Rogen was surprisingly
I know.
heartfelt. It's a funny trailer. Check it out. It's called Long Shot. So the trailer that really knocked my socks off,
Oh, this is great.
Love, Death, and Robots.
Right.
Never heard of it. It is going to be an anthology series on Netflix. All you fans of liquid television, back in the 90s, if you are a young person, you might not know, there was a show called Liquid Television where it was basically a bunch of short animated features. Short little it's where Beavis and Butthead came from,
Yep.
Dog Boy, Aeon Flux.
Daria, I think, too, maybe.
Who?
I think Daria also.
Well, she came from Beavis and Butthead. She didn't have her own thing on Liquid Television.
Anyway.
But Aeon Flux, I mean, it was a cult classic show. It was on MTV really, really late at night. This has a very Liquid Television feel. Showrunners David Fincher and Tim Miller.
That's crazy.
David Fincher, Alien 3, 7,
Yeah.
the Social Network.
Yep.
I mean, he's a very dark director. And Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool,
Yep.
teaming up. What it is, here's the synopsis of it. Get this. Sentient dairy products, rogue werewolf soldiers, robots gone wild, sexy cyborgs, aliens, spiders, and bloodthirsty demons from hell converge in a 185-minute genre orgy of stories not suitable for the mainstream.
Oh my gosh, what a great tagline.
It is, if you haven't seen the trailer for Love, Death, and Robots, you got to check it out. It comes out on Netflix. It's going to be a series.
Yeah, like March 10th, so it's right around the corner.
Yeah. What they did, they cast a wide net on like social media and stuff, and asked for filmmakers, aspiring filmmakers, to send in their shorts, their short films, not their shorts.
Not their boxer shorts.
Although I'm pretty sure they probably received a couple of boxer shorts in the mail. And so they selected their favorite ones and they made a series out of it.
That's so cool.
Very dark. Each one of the stories is going to be about one of three things: love, death, or robots.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a great concept, great idea. And I love that it's from all these different aspiring filmmakers, because they're putting their best foot forward to send these videos into them. So
I know.
It's gonna be so
It was an
good.
amazing trailer. It's real short. This trailer was made for people who like to pause and analyze every single frame of, because there's literally probably 300 frames of individual scenes in this trailer.
Easy.
It's amazing. It's all set to this like hardcore techno music. Oh, it's so sick.
That's great.
Love, Death, and Robots. Check it out. A much lighter tone, but probably one of my favorite movie trailers of the entire week was Yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
This is a movie from Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle, the director of Trainspotting 2, 147 Hours, was it?
Something like that. And
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah.
Danny Boyle was pitched to do the next James Bond movie. The James Bond 25 is the 25th James Bond movie. He did a hard pass because he was working on this Beatles movie. He kept the plot of the movie very much under wraps. All he said was the Beatles don't exist and one person takes advantage of that. That's pretty much all he said to the public. So people didn't know, is it a time travel thing? What is it going to be? Well, the trailer finally dropped, and it's awesome.
I'm just thinking about it. I'm getting goosebumps right now. It's just so good. It looks so heartfelt. It's got that Slumdog feeling where it's just this innocence about the movie. But it's such a cool concept.
Yeah,
Basically,
well, the synopsis of it is a struggling musician realizes he's the only person on Earth who can remember the Beatles. Simple as that. There's basically a blackout in London, and this guy, he gets hit by like a car, and he wakes up in the hospital, thinks everything's normal.
Yeah.
He gets a guitar, and he starts playing Yesterday
for everybody.
And his friends are like, that's the most beautiful song I've ever heard. When did you write that? He's like, what are you talking about? I didn't write that. The Beatles wrote that. John Lennon, Paul McCartney wrote that. And they're like, I've never heard of him.
Who are you talking about?
So
and so he's like Googling the Beatles and nothing comes up.
The world has never heard of the Beatles. He's the only person who's ever heard of them, and he's a musician. He knows all the Beatles songs. So he becomes the most famous singer-songwriter on the planet. And he goes to make an album, and they say, this is going to be the greatest album ever written.
Nobody's ever written this many hits before.
I know. It's a movie that is going to be strictly for the Beatles-loving audience and people that love Beatles cover bands and Beatles cover songs. The soundtrack for this is going to be spectacular. And it's going to be all the best Beatles songs from start to finish.
I know. And if it's the guy that's actually acting in the film, if he's the singer, he sounds great.
Yeah, no, he sounds spectacular.
Yeah. So I'm so excited for this movie.
I know. I've seen this trailer 3 times. I got goosebumps every single time I watched it. So Yesterday, check it out. Check out all these trailers. These are great. Well,
except
you can't have a week of talking about the week's movie trailers without talking about Aladdin.
Oh,
the trailer heard round the world. It's the one with the blue Will Smith as the genie.
Oh, goodness.
Guy Ritchie directing Aladdin. What a weird pick.
Right?
For a film.
I don't understand that
Lock,
at
stock,
all.
snatch, Aladdin.
I love Guy Ritchie, too.
So do I.
Man, I don't know what he was thinking, but
so let's take...
horrible.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Let's take the blue genie out of the equation. Let's just talk about the rest of the trailer. There were so many pieces and parts of this trailer that did not land for me. Kids might love it, but the CGI looked really rough.
Looks horrible.
Just the cinematography, the way that the weird shots were coming through just looked so fake. Yep. Everything looked plastic. Everything looked way too bright and colorful and synthetic. None of it looked like it existed in the real world.
And I'm still very upset at the casting of Jafar. He's the same age as Aladdin in this movie. He's supposed to be this old man.
Jafar's too young.
Yeah.
His voice is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound scary and menacing. But one thing I will give him credit for, Jafar has got a parrot on his shoulder the whole trailer. So Iago is going to be in the film.
In the movie. Let's hope.
It's Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, God. See, that would be amazing.
The icing on the cake.
I don't want to see Blue Genie. I just want to see Gilbert Gottfried as the voice of a real live-action parrot.
I know.
That would crush. That won't be the case, though, unfortunately. I bet you the parrot doesn't even talk.
Probably not.
So let's talk about the genie, shall we?
Do we have to?
We have to. You have to talk about the genie. I love Will Smith. Will Smith is great, but man, he has not done... Whoever is his agent is not giving him the right roles.
I couldn't agree more.
His last few movies, Bright on Netflix, not so great. I mean, he just hasn't had a very good track record in the past few years, and he's such a great actor.
I know. know.
And I thought, okay, Aladdin, I could see him as the genie.
Yeah, a comedic, fun genie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Over the top acting and character. Perfect, Will Smith.
Yeah.
Sadly, the CGI looks so awful.
Looks
it
awful.
looks like a bad Adobe Premiere
I know.
green screen job.
I feel like I could have done a better
His
job
face,
with the CGI.
if that's his real body, they somehow made it look like it wasn't his real body.
Uh-huh.
It looks like his face is just plastered onto a CGI body.
Yep.
If it is his real body, way to go, Will.
But I don't understand why it doesn't look like your body if
Yeah.
it is your real body.
It could still be good.
Yeah.
But whoever cut this trailer, if this is going to be your first look at the genie as a blue genie, you got to put your best foot forward,
I
man.
know.
If this is the best shot they got of the genie, we're in trouble.
I agree.
Why? Well, as soon as the trailer dropped, they posted a photo.
I was just going to mention this.
The photo looked really good.
Yeah.
They posted a photo, I think, on Entertainment Weekly, or maybe it was Variety. It was a totally different shot that you didn't see in the trailer of the blue genie, and it actually looks really cool.
It's because of all the backlash the trailer got that they did that, guaranteed. Yeah. That's insane.
Well, Disney said, you know what? We didn't drop a very good trailer here on Monday. Let's drop a much better one on Wednesday, and they gave us the first look at Frozen 2. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you they dropped this Frozen 2 trailer in response to the backlash
Absolutely.
of Aladdin. Hey, look over here, look over here, look over here. Stop looking at Aladdin. Look, it's Frozen.
It's Frozen. Everybody loves Frozen.
It's Elsa, everybody's favorite character. I like the Frozen 2 trailer.
Yeah, I didn't. I'll be honest. I have not seen Frozen.
I've never
Probably
seen
one
Frozen.
Of the only people on the planet, but this looked cool. It looked
Yeah.
really dark, though.
Really
which is
dark.
Interesting.
Cool animation. I like when
Yeah.
she's running through the water, and she's not only like turning water into ice, but it's like illuminating.
Yeah.
It looks like phosphorescent. It looks
looks
really, really neat
really
the way
cool.
she's running through the water. It's a really
Yep.
cool looking trailer. I know nothing about
I know.
Frozen.
I have no idea why she's trying to get off this island or run across
Why is she
the
on an
ocean.
island?
I don't know, but I'm curious to find out.
I don't know. I kind of like the Frozen 2 trailer.
Yeah.
Will I go see Frozen 2? Maybe, probably not, but the trailer looked pretty rad.
We can stream it.
So the last trailer I want to talk about, we saw the teaser trailer for The Curse of La Llorona, ironically before Deadpool 2 PG-13 version. Once Upon a Deadpool showed us the first teaser trailer for The Curse of La Llorona, killer teaser trailer that dropped around Christmas time. Well, they dropped the full-length trailer. It's a James Wan produced movie. You know, James Wan, the whole Conjuring universe, obviously Aquaman. It's another one of these Conjuring style films.
Yeah.
That had me worried because the last couple Conjuring movies, The Nun,
Oh, The
worst
Nun was
movie of
so
2017,
bad.
without a doubt.
Absolutely.
That movie was awful. The one with the doll. What was it?
Annabelle.
Annabelle. The first
I never
Annabelle.
saw those, but
Terrible. Second Annabelle. Awesome. So I was a little bit worried. And then we got a full-length trailer, and it looks pretty badass.
it looks great.
Essentially, the synopsis of the film. Ignoring the eerie warning of a troubled mother suspected of child endangerment, a social worker and her small kids are soon drawn into a frightening supernatural realm. Looks very creepy. It's a very Latino-based film, which is awesome. The director, Michael Chavez, a Latino director.
Awesome.
The whole cast is Latino cast. And who... This is... don't take this the wrong way. This is not a racist statement, but Latinos... This has got all the Latino goods, man. It's got heavy Catholicism and jump scares.
Right?
Like this is made for Latino audience, man. Catholic and ghosts and family.
And the kids that they cast in this movie, like the kids'
Yeah.
acting abilities that you can see in this trailer are
Yeah.
great.
The
I
little
was
girl looks
like,
really good.
Oh, man,
It's got
this is
Tuco
good.
from Breaking Bad
Yeah.
as a priest.
Yeah,
He's almost like the
that's-
Exorcist priest.
Yep.
Man, it looks pretty cool. It's not the greatest trailer in the world. You know, some of the jump scares are a tad predictable.
Sure.
But just the look of it, the feel of it looks really, really cool.
I agree. It's
So?
gonna be good.
Check it out, The Curse of La Llorona, not La Llorona. Thank you, Tony Medina, for pointing that out for me. It's La Llorona.
La Llorona.
So 8 trailers for you guys to go check out. Get on YouTube and check out these 8 trailers. They're absolutely spectacular. What a huge week for movie trailers.
Right?
So moving on, guys, let's go ahead and break down the top nerd news of the week. So the big news of the week, guys, Hulu now owned 51% shares by Disney once the Fox-Disney deal goes through. Disney now basically owns Hulu. They own the majority stake, so the first thing they do is decide to make a Marvel shared animated universe.